Hailey Bieber's beauty brand Rhode has been a major success. Until now, her latest launch, a so-called revolutionary lip liner, is facing intense backlash from customers and beauty influencers alike. Reviews are calling it overpriced, poorly made, and worst of all, completely useless. But what really went wrong? From complaints about staying power to accusations of influencers misleading their followers, this controversy is shaking Rhode's reputation. And Hailey's response? Let's just say, it didn't help. The Rhode lip liner controversy. What went wrong? Rhode has positioned itself as a premium beauty brand since its launch, with Hailey Bieber promising high-quality skincare and lip products that deliver results. Up until now, her brand had built a loyal customer base, with fans raving about the sleek aesthetic and minimalist approach to beauty. But when Rhode announced the launch of the Peptide lip tint and lip shaper, things took an unexpected turn. This was supposed to be an innovative new product, more than just a lip liner but a lip-shaping essential, designed to define, contour, and enhance the lips effortlessly. The marketing campaign painted it as a game-changer, with Rhode boasting a formula that combined soft focus color with high-performance skincare. It was designed to be creamier than a traditional lip liner, giving a more natural, blended effect. But the moment customers got their hands on it, the complaints started rolling in. The first red flag? The price. At $39 before taxes and nearly $45 in some regions, people were shocked at how much they were expected to pay for what was essentially a glorified lip pencil. For context, some of the most high-end luxury beauty brands price their lip liners at nearly half of that. While Rhode had always been considered premium, this price point felt excessive, especially considering the amount of product inside. But the biggest issue wasn't even the price, it was the product itself. Customers quickly realized that the formula didn't live up to the hype. Instead of being long-lasting and creamy, the lip liner barely stayed on. Many found that it faded within an hour or two, completely disappearing after eating or drinking. Even worse, some people reported that the formula was patchy, making it difficult to apply evenly. It wasn't long before social media became flooded with disappointed buyers, with some even comparing it to drugstore products that cost a fraction of the price. The packaging also became a major talking point. Instead of feeling like a high-end luxury item, many said it felt cheap and flimsy. Hailey had marketed the product as an innovative two-in-one tool, featuring a smudger on the opposite end meant to help blend and define the lips. But for most customers, the smudger felt completely unnecessary, with some even calling it pointless and gimmicky. Instead of helping, it just made the application process more frustrating. Rhode had built a reputation on sleek, effective beauty essentials, but this launch was shaping up to be a disaster. The biggest complaints from customers. The backlash didn't take long to intensify. Customers took to Reddit, Instagram, and TikTok to share their experiences, and one complaint stood out above the rest. This lip liner had absolutely no staying power. Within an hour of application, it would start fading, and by the time people had eaten or even sipped a drink, the color was completely gone. Unlike traditional lip liners, which are designed to lock in color and act as a base for lipstick, the Rhode lip shaper seemed to do the opposite. It felt more like a creamy lipstick in a pencil format, which might have been fine if it wasn't priced at $39. Then came the issue of packaging. A major selling point of Rhode products had always been their sleek, Instagram-worthy aesthetic, but this lip liner didn't deliver. Many customers were surprised at how little product they got for the price. Unlike standard twist-up liners, this one didn't seem to provide much product at all, leading many to feel like they were being ripped off. Some even compared it to brands like NYX and Maybelline, claiming that those budget-friendly options lasted longer and performed better. Another issue that customers couldn't ignore was the smudger. Rhode had marketed this as a feature that would allow users to blend and define their lips effortlessly, but it ended up being a frustrating extra step that most people didn't find useful. Instead of adding value, it just made the product seem overcomplicated. People wanted a high-quality, long-lasting lip liner, not an extra tool that didn't actually improve the application process. As more and more negative reviews poured in, one thing became clear: this product was a massive letdown. But while everyday customers were quick to call out its flaws, some influencers had a very different reaction. Influencer reactions: the divide between honest reviews and PR praise. When Rhode's lip shaper hit the market, influencers wasted no time in posting their reviews. But something strange happened. While everyday buyers were calling the product a failure, many beauty influencers were giving it glowing praise. At first, this confused people. How could the same product that was getting trashed by customers be receiving 5-star reviews from influencers? It didn't take long before people started connecting the dots. Most of the influencers hyping up the lip liner were either on Rhode's PR list or hoping to get noticed by the brand. On TikTok, dozens of smaller influencers posted videos raving about how innovative and luxurious the lip liner was. But suspiciously, none of them showed how long it lasted after eating or drinking. This raised major red flags, especially in a time when consumers have grown increasingly skeptical of influencer marketing. One influencer who caught a lot of attention was Michaela Nogueira. She posted a glowing review calling the product obsessed, stunning, and creamy. She praised everything about it: the packaging, the formula, the application. But one thing was missing from her review: a wear test. She never showed how the product held up throughout the day, leading many to believe that her review wasn't entirely honest. It wasn't just Michaela. Other TikTok beauty influencers also avoided discussing the staying power of the lip liner. This created a growing sense of distrust. Were influencers genuinely loving this product, or were they just trying to stay in Rhode's good graces? While some influencers played it safe, others, like Jeffree Star, weren't afraid to tell the truth. Jeffree Star and other major beauty gurus speak out. Jeffree Star is no stranger to controversy, but when it comes to makeup reviews, one thing is certain: he doesn't hold back. Unlike many influencers who seemed hesitant to criticize Rhode's lip liner, Jeffree dove straight in. From the moment he unboxed the product, his skepticism was obvious. He immediately pointed out that the packaging felt cheap and flimsy, something that many customers had already mentioned. But the real test came when he applied the product, and that's where things really went downhill. Jeffree noted that the application wasn't smooth. Instead of gliding effortlessly onto the lips, the formula felt patchy and inconsistent. He even struggled to get an even coat, something that shouldn't happen with a high-end lip liner. But the most damning part of his review came when he tested its staying power. After just a few minutes, he wiped his lips with his hand and watched as the product completely vanished. "Where did you go?" he mocked, laughing at the disappearing formula. He even compared it to a magic trick, joking that Rhode must have collaborated with Houdini. Jeffree wasn't the only major beauty guru to call out the lip liner. DMZAZ, another respected reviewer, also tested the product and had similar complaints. He pointed out that every influencer who had given it a positive review seemed to have a close relationship with Rhode. Unlike them, he decided to put the product through a real wear test. The results? After just a short time, the color faded significantly, and after eating, it was completely gone. "How are people hyping this up?" he asked, visibly frustrated. Another beauty YouTuber, Samantha Ramdahl, did a detailed review, comparing Rhode's lip liner to others in the same price range. She tested it against a $20 lip liner from Makeup Forever and a $22 liner from Charlotte Tilbury. The results weren't even close. Both of the other products outperformed Rhode's in terms of longevity, application, and pigmentation. The conclusion: Rhode's lip liner was overpriced and underwhelming. As these negative reviews piled up, more and more people began questioning the integrity of influencer marketing. Why were so many big names in the beauty industry raving about a product that clearly didn't perform well? That question would soon lead to an even bigger controversy: the growing divide between honest beauty influencers and those who were simply trying to stay on Rhode's good side. The internet reacts, memes, drama, and more. As more people became aware of the Rhode lip liner controversy, social media exploded with reactions. TikTok in particular became a hub for criticism, with countless users posting their own reviews and experiences. Many compared the product to drugstore alternatives that performed better for a fraction of the price. Others sarcastically joked that Rhode's lip liner should be renamed the Disappearing Act due to how quickly it faded. Reddit, a platform known for its brutally honest beauty discussions, had entire threads dedicated to exposing the lip liner's flaws. Some users even did side-by-side comparisons with other brands, proving just how weak Rhode's formula was. Beauty lovers weren't just disappointed, they were furious. Many felt that Hailey Bieber's brand had taken advantage of their trust, using influencer hype to push an overpriced, low-quality product. One of the biggest points of frustration was the role influencers played in promoting the lip liner. As more and more users pointed out, it was suspicious that nearly all of the early positive reviews came from people on Rhode's PR list. It became clear that some influencers were prioritizing their relationship with the brand over honesty. This sparked an even larger debate about the state of beauty influencers. Were they really reviewing products, or were they just acting as unpaid advertisers? The memes quickly followed. Twitter was flooded with jokes about how Rhode's lip liner lasted shorter than a bad date, and TikTok creators made parody videos applying the product only to have it magically disappear seconds later. Some users even created fake before and after clips, where they would put on the lip liner and then instantly cut to a clip of their bare lips, as if the product had vanished into thin air. The internet wasn't just mad, it was having fun, dragging Rhode's biggest failure yet. All of this noise made one thing very clear. This wasn't just a minor controversy. This was a full-blown beauty industry scandal. And with so many people calling out the lip liner's poor performance, Rhode had no choice but to respond. But when Hailey Bieber finally spoke up, it only made things worse. Hailey Bieber's response: too little, too late? After weeks of growing backlash, Hailey Bieber finally broke her silence on the Rhode lip liner controversy. But instead of addressing the biggest complaints, like the poor staying power, the high price, or the misleading marketing, she chose to focus on something completely different. In an Instagram story, Hailey posted a PSA explaining how the smudger on the end of the lip liner was supposed to be used. That's right, out of all the things she could have responded to, she decided to clarify the function of a feature that most customers already found useless. The response was met with immediate frustration. People were hoping for an acknowledgement of the product's flaws, or at least an attempt to fix the issues. Instead, they got what felt like a deflection. Hailey's post read more like an attempt to educate customers on how to properly use the product, rather than an apology or a commitment to improvement. Many felt like she was avoiding the real criticism and acting as if the problem was user error, rather than a flaw in the product itself. Beauty fans weren't buying it. Comment sections filled up with people calling the response tone-deaf and dismissive. Some pointed out that this wasn't the first time Rhode had received backlash for product issues. When the brand first launched, there were complaints about faulty pumps and gritty lip treatments. But those issues had been minor compared to this. Now, customers felt outright scammed, and Hailey's response did nothing to regain their trust. If Rhode had acknowledged the problem and promised improvements, it might have been able to save face. But instead, the brand doubled down, standing by the lip liner despite overwhelming evidence that it wasn't up to standard. This only fueled the backlash, making customers even more determined to call out the brand's failures. The controversy wasn't just damaging Rhode's reputation, it was reshaping the way people viewed influencer marketing as a whole. And with so much competition in the beauty industry, one big misstep could be enough to sink a brand's credibility for good. The bigger issue: can Rhode recover from this? The Rhode lip liner controversy has raised a much bigger question. Can Hailey's brand recover from this mess? While one bad product launch isn't enough to completely destroy a beauty brand, it does make people question whether Rhode is truly worth the hype. Beauty consumers are savvier than ever, and they aren't as easily swayed by influencer marketing anymore. In the past, a celebrity's name alone might have been enough to sell a product, but those days are over. People want quality, performance, and transparency, and Rhode's lip liner controversy has made them question whether the brand can truly deliver. Some fans believe that Hailey and her team will learn from this mistake and improve future product launches. Others think this could be the beginning of Rhode's decline, especially if the brand continues to ignore customer feedback. One thing's for sure, trust is hard to build and easy to lose. And right now, Rhode has a lot of work to do if it wants to win back its audience.